so I'm excited to be with Eric in the room today. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks so much. I'm so excited to share these stories with our audience.
Great. We're super excited too, as I said. And so, Eric, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what inspired you to create this series of stories.
Yeah, I think for me, if I'm being really honest, this past 18 months has been hard in so many ways. And after, just spending a couple months, like most performing artists, just kind of flailing, not knowing what to do with myself, frankly, um, I tried to think of a way to kind of channel the energy that I was feeling. And a lot of that energy, I've just got to be real honest, was really sad. It was negative energy, and I wanted to turn it into something else, something creative. Um, and so then this idea for this series just kind of popped into my head. I literally woke up one morning and I my first thought was I want to record an audio story. And so I did that and I needed material. I went looking. I've always loved Korean folk tales. And so I went and I found some source material and I adapted it and I just started putting the things in motion for us to be able to create this series.
Awesome. I know that a lot of the topics in this series are of supernatural, of retribution and revenge, and I know that it's interesting and kind of cathartic to get out those feelings through art. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the specific story that you wrote, The Honest Witch, which premieres on October 1st. It's the first one in the series. Tell us a little bit more about this story in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it centers on this magistrate that is, this is Joseon Korea. The Joseon dynasty was the longest reigning dynasty in Korea, pre-modern Korea. And it takes place in this kind of, feudal world where you have a magistrate that has a lot of power looking over his people, and he meets this woman that he can't explain, right? And a lot of times in cultures, I think not just Korean culture, but other cultures, when men in particular meet a woman that is unexplainable in whatever way, then she ends up becoming a witch, in whatever way, and they try to dismiss her with that word. And what I love about the original folktale that this is based on is that she just gets to subvert all of those ideas. I was also I'm really interested in shamanic culture in Korea, which is still very widespread actually. And my idea for this adaptation, which diverts from the original source, is that overlap, right? Like, who gets to be a witch, who gets to be a shaman, who gets to eschew all of those titles altogether. So that's the jumping off point, and I don't want to say too much more. And I just want to say how much fun it was to make. So I hope people can sense that when they enjoy it.
Yeah. I want to say that I've listened to it. I got a sneak peek of it, luckily. And my skin was crawling and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is really, like, it was so good. It was really so good. And I was alone in my house, downstairs in my house. And I was like, oh my God, something's going to come at me. So it was very, very effective. Perfect for October.
Thank you.
And the spooky season. So thanks so much, Eric. And you all out there, I hope you catch the piece as well as the others coming up. And we'll be talking to the other writers as well in our next interviews.